Right fucking now! It's goddamn.
This is the beard show. We each talk about our beards. How's your beard going, Chris? No, still not there.
I got a little ball hair on my
I did
fucking
notice
chin.
the other day you just started growing.
No, I had this for about a year.
Shitty. I know, but that's still just. You're
Okay.
23 years old. It's wild you're just now starting to grow.
My brothers and dad didn't start growing their hair until they were like 26.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I really didn't start getting not that my facial hair is great now.
It's good.
But I didn't start getting any really until like 19 or 20, which I still feel like is pretty old. Can you grow facial hair?
I tried. I get like peach fuzz and it I think in a few years I probably can get full.
You're gonna like one day rock like a blonde beard.
That's
I
what
like
was
that
thinking,
You're gonna
idea.
look like fucking Kurt Russell's son.
Like a Viking beard?
I was thinking, yeah, at one point it'll because my dad has a thick beard.
Yeah.
But he
Blonde?
told me no, it's black hair, but he told me that it took him till his late 20s though till he could
Okay.
like do
That's
that.
cool.
There's still hope
You're
for us.
gonna,
Nick.
yeah, I imagine you having a blonde beard like in your mid 20s and just fucking being jacked.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Oh.
I'd love to
Yeah.
have a blonde beard.
How do you imagine me with a beard?
The same but grosser. The same but somehow less appealing.
I'm already less appealing than Nick, so
You're less appealing currently. Let's just say with every second that goes by, you get less appealing.
Yeah.
I like that. You a munch, dude.
I'm not a munch.
You're a
Fuck
munch.
you.
Have you heard that
Eat
song?
this pussy
Oh,
back
a
lunch.
mensch or
Munch.
mush? What's that?
Let's start
mensch.
off by talking about it.
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice is a new, very, very famous rapper.
For some reason.
Yeah, I've
You
heard
recognize
about
her?
Yeah, I saw she had she has a song.
So
I
look
just
at her
heard.
and tell me, Nick, why do you think she's famous?
What about
Let's
her?
see.
Well, she's uniquely pretty. Like she does have a cool look,
It's,
but
it's not her talent with words.
where she pushes shit out is a good thing.
Let's see
Yeah.
this.
The thing that pushes shit out of her body looks nice.
All right, here we go.
That's so fun, dude. They're like, no matter how advanced we get,
God, girl, you got a good shit pusher there.
no matter how advanced we get, the place where we push shit out of is still the coolest thing. Is it just skipping?
It's just lagging. It seems.
Well, you can just put the video over that, right?
Over what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you don't have to play it too loud. Maybe you
Yeah,
can put the
I'm
audio
gonna
over
mute
too.
it,
But
yeah.
I wanted you to hear it personally.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah, I'm not a fan
You're not a fan of her?
of the lyrics, or not the lyrics, but of the
I think
songs.
she. I mean, look. I get that she is very attractive. I will say that she's a little boyish. Like,
She's
looks
got a
kinda
little boy face.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I can pause it for a second.
She's like a little sidekick from a
yeah,
Nickelodeon
there
show.
was her shit pusher.
Little shit pusher there, dude.
That's the thing. It's like no matter how far women go, or like whatever rights and appreciation and stuff they receive, there will always be women that are like, well, yeah, but I can just shake my ass, and then none of that shit.
I think
fucking
more and more
matters.
women are starting to just realize that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't need to do anything of worth.
And hey, there's nothing wrong with that, but also you have to accept that there's going to be shame attached to it because it's
Yeah.
just so easy.
Well, it's with porn. I don't think porn stars should be respected.
No, they shouldn't.
No,
Porn
because they're
stars-
doing the easiest thing you can
This
do.
is Ice Spice.
Wow,
That's an ass.
that is. See, I'll say it doesn't that look that good right there.
It's,
I don't like where it's positioned. I don't think an ass should go that low.
It's
Oh,
a
it's
low
a low
ass.
ass,
to
It's
you.
a low ass, and it's also kind of a high ass.
I guess it goes up.
It's
That's
up
a
and-
long crack.
It's
long
a
everywhere.
long crack.
It could be fake. They could
It
be.
could be a
Do
Dr.
they do
Photo.
fake ass?
No, it could be a fake ass. Oh, they definitely do a fake.
They do
ass.
some fake asses.
Pull up some fake asses.
Yeah, let me
let's
see some fake.
BBLs.
But how do you see?
Is
How do you
BBL
feel
a fake
about?
ass?
Brazilian butt lift. It's where they take fat from your
Oh.
midsection and they put it in
I
your
thought it was
butt.
big, beautiful ladies.
Oh,
Big, busty, loose horse.
Let's see.
Big BBLW.
BBLWs, big busty loose whores.
I will say the term BBW
Oh,
is used.
Jesus Christ!
Like King of the Hill.
It looks like Freddy Krueger coming through the
Oh.
wall.
It looks like fucking someone without eyes, dude. It looks like some kind of Pan's Labyrinth
Blind
monster.
old man.
It looks like something you could encounter in a Guillermo del Toro film. Hellboy's gonna fight that.
How do you feel about the song though, Nick? It was,
You thought I was playing? That nigga's a munch.
I didn't hear him.
He eats it for lunch.
Nick, do you know what a munch
Hold
is?
on, Nick is tagging my N-word. Yes. Now, here's the thing, though.
Oh, I didn't even
Do
catch
you?
it that time. I'm
Well, do
fake.
you have to bleep it if I was quoting song lyrics?
If you were quoting Ice
it's up-
Spice,
that's totally up to you. If you want it, if you're quoting song lyrics, you might be in the clear.
I say we keep it.
Keep it in. Let's
'Cause
keep it in. Yeah.
Here's the thing: if they have the video online of her saying that, then how come I can't say it?
and you are no less black than Ice Spice.
Let's find out. Can you find out Ice Spice's ethnicity?
And
That's the interesting thing too. Like, this is where it gets really confusing with the whole argument that, like,
We have talked about this multiple times.
white people can't say the N-word. Well,
Okay.
a half-white person is white.
She has to just say like nig or
Yeah,
gur.
you are white, so you're just, they're probably almost as white as you.
So her father is a former is African American.
Okay.
While her mother is
Dominican.
Oh,
So that's pretty black.
Yeah, so she can say it.
But still, even light-skinned black guys, like Drake says it.
Yeah.
And
he's
I would
Jewish.
say, yeah, Drake is
Drake
probably
is-
about as black as you are Mexican.
Okay.
So it's like, you're white. Most
Yeah.
people look at you and call you white.
White.
You're
Good.
like, I don't know, even Barack Obama, I'd look at him and say, like, that guy's pretty white.
He's white. He was raised by white people.
The only black person in his life that made him black wasn't even in his life ever. So
No.
it's like, that guy's whiter than me. I've probably spent more time around black people than Barack
And I will
Obama.
also say, between you and Ice Spice, you may have the better ass.
I have a decent ass.
You have a dumper,
Thick
dude.
ass.
I have a high ass. I show it to Chris. Me and Chris live together, and I show him my ass quite a bit.
Oh, almost every day.
If my daughter wasn't around, like, there's been so many times where I get out of the shower and I just want to light jog through the living room completely naked. And if my daughter wasn't, I would do that a lot. Or not even light jog, just walk very casually through completely naked.
Grab a glass of milk and walk
Get the
back.
whole gallon of milk and just walk back to my room with it completely naked.
Sup?
What is Adam
just like,
doing
what
today?
the fuck?
I like being naked, and I've never held any shame for my body.
Yeah, I like being naked too. Just in
Yeah.
my apartment, a studio. Yeah. It's
You never held any shame for your body?
I never have. And
pretty
I know my
body
body
positive.
doesn't look good.
No.
Well, see, I don't think I am body positive because I know my body's gross. I don't think my body's beautiful. It's yucky. It's weird, and I treat it like shit.
Yeah.
And it shows that physically. But I also don't give a shit about other people seeing it.
Yeah.
I only don't show my dick when I walk around because
'Cause
I'll
it's
get
illegal.
arrested for
Yeah.
it. But yeah, if I didn't have to contain my tiny little peener, I'd probably show that too.
I think if women are able to wear like spandex that show their meat pussy,
Oh, it's ridiculous.
but
Yeah, when
I
they-
think you should be able to show your dick.
When they say it's not fair that we get to wear we have to wear shirts on the beach or cover our nipples on the beach, but you guys can be topless. I'm like, you guys don't really cover anything anymore at all.
No.
Like, you can be a girl and show your entire ass. Like, it doesn't have to be
Whole
covered up
ass.
at all. Like, you could just with a
The
string
string,
through
yeah,
it. It's
yeah.
still completely.
There's no age limit to it too. That's
I feel like
ridiculous.
if I was walking around in a thong, I might get arrested.
Oh, with one string through the
Just
cheeks?
through my
Yeah.
ass?
Yeah.
Just
that-
through-
Me
your-
with my ass out.
that string is God, dude.
Yeah.
I wonder if that toes the line of just being obscene or indecent behavior.
Yeah. Do you think it's
Indecent,
illegal
yeah.
to show your pubes?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, okay, type that in. Is it illegal to show your pubes in public?
I feel like if I was walking around in a
Like-
thong and you could just see my giant mouth, because I haven't shaved my dick in a long time.
How long?
Like years.
Years.
I'm engaged now. And
When
I'm a
I met you,
dad.
did you have a shaved dick?
Yeah, I mean, when I
6
was
years?
like having random sex with women,
You shaved the dick.
I would shave it somewhat.
Did you ever shave it all off?
Yeah, I don't like that.
You don't like it. I don't like it either.
No, I don't like a bald pussy either. I think a
Bald
completely
pussies are
bald
weird.
pussy looks odd.
No, bald pussies are weird. It's like a child's pussy. I like when the hair is growing back.
The problem is if it's a bald pussy, it looks like a child's pussy, and then I can't like not come.
Yeah.
I will
It's
come.
too much. Too fast.
You gotta
Quick.
think about baseball, Adam, when that happens.
We're talking baseball, looking
Fucking
at a
kids
kid pussy.
while talking baseball.
What's your preference on pubic hair?
Yeah, you like
Either.
pubes?
Yeah.
Nope.
That's fine. Yeah.
What about like a lot?
Like so much.
See, I don't like I don't like hair on the vagina. That's a lot to me.
Hair. What do you
On the vagina, like around the hole and everything.
like? You like it above, like that
Yeah,
little
like
spot
that. I
above?
think is cool. I like that. I think it's actually kind of cute for some reason.
On the legs and thighs and stuff.
No, just on the pubic,
Yeah, I don't mind.
the pubic area. But like, does
Yeah.
it bother you when you go down to the lips and there's hair on each
There's
side,
like hair
on each lip?
on the side of the legs too.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say
That
so.
wouldn't bother you.
Yeah, if it was like a crazy amount, like your hair, yeah, it's
Straight?
fine.
What
Like
about
his
like
hair?
pubic, all over the pussy and all the way up to her asshole? There's just it's not a lot,
Okay.
but it's a good amount of hair.
Yeah, maybe then. Yeah,
I've
it'd be
seen
excessive.
that.
Yeah,
I've seen pictures of that.
Hair on the ass of a woman is awful.
Really?
I've never seen that.
It's one of the worst.
I've heard stories of hair, like a lot of hair on the ass cheeks.
I hooked up with a Hispanic girl when I was like 19. She
That's
had
where
hair
it usually
on her
comes
ass
from.
They're usually
cheeks.
pretty hairy, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're much hairier than other people. Their hair is just so dark.
Oh, so you can see it.
So you can really see it.
Yeah.
Most white women, a lot of their hair is like blonde and like
Exactly.
they do have hair probably on their ass, but it's like
Blonde.
peach.
Okay.
and
White
sweet.
women 1,
Yeah.
ethnic women 0.
Black women too. I feel like if black women have hair, black women, yeah, I feel like their asses are never hairy. Black women have smooth asses.
You better not have hair on
Does
that
the
ass, bitch.
Does a woman's asshole get hairy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they have to shave it.
Yeah.
Their
I
asshole.
know a lot of girls get their like buttholes bleached, and when they get their buttholes bleached, they get it waxed too.
Yeah.
That probably destroys the follicles.
How odd is that?
That.
You think to get your asshole waxed and bleached, just by
yeah.
a stranger?
Yeah.
A bleached asshole is super bright.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
No, it's not super bright necessarily. It's just
what is it? Just getting rid of the shit
It's supposed
stains?
to make your asshole the same
From
color as the rest of
brown.
your skin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Essentially,
So
that's what
doesn't-
they're trying to do.
Because an asshole just has so much shit go through it, it stains the skin.
Eventually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you
It's
watch
like a tattoo.
videos of like really fat girls, their whole ass will
Oh,
have like
yeah.
that big
Brown.
shit stain.
Yep.
That's rough.
You
Yeah,
hate that.
because
You-
they're sitting in it.
That ruins it. That
Yeah.
ruins. Yeah, there have been plenty of porn where like, cause I look at chubby porn.
Yeah.
Not too much BBW. I feel like most what they consider BBW is too big for me. Like obese is
Sometimes
not
it's excessive.
usually attractive,
yeah.
but sometimes I'll see a girl with a really cute face, and I'm like, I'll check it out. And then yeah, they got that big brown doo doo road.
Yeah, you don't want to do.
You got the
doggy
doo
style.
doo road on your butt. It's a highway to. I'm on a highway to doo doo butt. Doo doo butt.
I'm on a highway to doo-doo butt.
Yeah, a doo doo butt is a lot. If you were about to make love to a woman and she bent over and she's like she's the hottest girl you've ever hooked up with.
Yeah.
She's exactly what you're into, and she's cool too. So you actually like her, and she had you could tell she had like had a big shark earlier, and
Yeah.
there's just like an abundance of shit between her ass cheeks.
Uh-huh.
Would you power through, or would you?
Oh
say,
yeah, I could handle.
You just
that.
power through.
Yeah, I could power through. Yeah.
Nick, you
But
dirty
you think-
dog.
But in terms of power through, you mean like in terms of hooking up?
Just would you be like, hey, you got?
Yeah,
clean
that's
yourself. When you
power
say,
through.
"Hey, you got to clean yourself up," that's probably the end of it. I would assume. I don't think she's gonna.
because the embarrassment is so high. That, yeah.
You think there's any way you can use baby wipes on her ass
Good
without her
question.
noticing?
Well, I think the only way to really fully get rid of the mess is gonna take even more
so what would
determination,
you
and
do?
you're gonna have to lick it all off.
Your tongue?
Can you just avoid it? Like, can you like work around it?
I mean,
You're asking what I would do in that
What would you do in
situation.
this situation?
I mean, if it's my picture perfect girl, which is obviously my fiance, obviously, but she never has poop on her butt, so I haven't come to. I mean,
in the past you have.
if I'm really horny or like kind of fucked up, I probably could. I could probably get past it. Also, because I just kind of like care about the girls I fuck usually, so I like don't want them to feel really weird and embarrassed. So that would be a lot of the reasoning. I 69 with a girl one time that had a little piece of like orange shit sticking out of
Oh
her
yeah,
ass
you were saying.
Why
that.
was it
That-
orange?
while she was riding my face.
The orange part's got to
Did she
throw
eat
you
Oh,
off.
crowns?
I don't know why it was orange. Yeah, I don't know. She just shoved a Cheeto up her ass.
Ate a box of crowns and
She
shat
just
it out.
eats Cheetos with her ass.
Oh God.
And yeah, I will say I made her come faster than I've ever made a girl, so I didn't have to have that fucking Nickelodeon logo in my face.
That was the
anymore.
motivator, I guess. Then, right?
You worked hard on that one, dude.
I was just so nervous. Like when she came, she's gonna lean back and just fucking butt stamp my forehead. And she's like, "Ew, you have shit on your head. You're gross."
Where do you think that came from?
You were just. Some girls are really insecure about
Their shit ass. Yeah.
69ing.
Uh,
No, honestly, I feel like most girls who are insecure about it have like the cleanest asses.
yeah.
And that's why, because they're insecure about their holes. That's the hard thing for a girl. Your butthole is just on display almost every time you have sex with a man. Unless you do missionary, I guess.
That's true.
Fair enough.
Almost every position. I mean, usually if you hook up with a chick, you're going to see her asshole.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's a really good chance.
You're gonna sniff it.
But her seeing your asshole, like you guys have been through some shit if she's seeing your asshole.
Yeah. Like she's licking it or pegging you.
Something.
Nick,
yeah.
would you ever get pegged?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
But
fair
like I
enough.
said, it's like everything though. It kind of depends on the situation. Like if
Oh,
it's like a
there's a-
long-term relationship and trying something new.
Look,
maybe.
if my fiance, and we would probably have to be together for even longer than we are now, was straight up just like it's something I really want to try.
I would have
like,
to
It's like a
pick-
fantasy of. She told me it's like a fantasy. It's something she's always wanted to live out. She could probably talk me into it, but I would have to have the ability to tap out at any time.
Yeah, it'd be big.
I would also have
the
to.
size of the peg, right?
I would have to
I get
pick it out.
I get to pick the peg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big are you going if you had to pick the peg?
I don't want to go too small. I don't want to seem like a pussy.
Yeah.
You go your size?
I don't want her to think I'm a fag that can't take a big old cock in my ass.
Oh, you want big. You want to be a man.
No, I wouldn't go too big.
Would you go your size?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You would take your dick in your
my own
ass?
dick.
That'd
Yeah.
be interesting too. It's like an education. It's
I mean,
like,
one
oh,
time when I was a kid, I froze a hot dog and shoved it up my ass.
Really?
You know, as you all do.
That's you froze it?
Yeah, it hurt.
Why'd you freeze
It was a cold dick.
It would have been soft otherwise, Nick. Duh.
It's a way to keep it hard.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the dog hard in my ass.
So you just have a really cold dick.
It
going
hurt.
in
I
your
thought I
ass.
almost passed out from the shock. I was like, ah!
I think it would have been easier to go with soft dog.
It felt kind of nice, and then it hurt.
Yeah.
Would you get pegged?
Like I said, I mean, Adam made a good point. I would have to really know her. I have to trust her.
That's what I was,
And you really like the person, so
Exactly.
Yeah.
it would never be something I want. But I totally believe in, like, if you're with someone for a long time, you guys should explore each other's fantasies. Like,
It
why
wouldn't-
not? You're together you're supposed to be committed to each other, and you're the only one, the other one's going to be fucking. You might as well let them do all the stuff they've wanted to do.
It wouldn't be our first fantasy we explore.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
We'd try something else.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only things, like, stuff I wouldn't really want to explore is if, like, she wanted to, like, bring another dude. Or I would never want to see my lady get fucked by another
I would
guy.
never want to hit somebody. I don't like that.
I don't think it's that weird to fuck, like, a girl you don't know that well with a guy. I've never done that, but I probably would have done that when I was single if it, like, was the right
If
situation.
you knew
I guess.
Nick then.
Yeah.
the Eiffel Tower, as they call it.
We went to
Spit
OKC
roast.
together.
Yeah.
If some chick was just like, I mean, I was engaged at that point, but if I wasn't, and we were just both two single dudes, and a really hot chick was just like, I really want both of you boys.
Yeah,
Do you think you could have been talked into it?
I think so. I'm like this. I mean, yeah, it's always on the context.
And
of
it's
the
almost
situation, but
less
if it's
weird
like,
'cause
if,
we
it's
didn't-
if everyone's cool with it, then yeah.
It's almost less weird because we didn't know each other that well then. That almost makes it less weird.
If you, oh, that's a good point.
You were still
Do you
kind of
think
a
it's-
stranger.
You think it's weirder if it's like
You're
if
like-
it's someone you just met?
I think I think the most weird is if it's someone you know but don't know them that well.
Okay, yeah, that's
Like
true.
like
a
you've known
coworker
them
or
for like
something.
2 or 3 years, but yeah, it's just someone you don't really hang
Like a
out with that
coworker?
much. Yeah, you know of them. I think that would be kind of weird.
But if it was like
a
you and
best
me,
friend, I don't think that's weird.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, I think like a
It-
really good friend. If it's like if you just have a sense of humor about it, it can be kind of fun.
It will feel weird the next
After.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
After you come, you're both gonna
especially when she leaves and we're sleeping in the same bed,
be like, yeah,
we stay over.
we both just have cum in our belly buttons.
Yeah, it's just like that was fun. You want to watch a movie now?
One thing I find awkward is like videos where it's like two dudes and they're sitting side by side and the girl's like jaying both of them. That's kind of weird because it's almost like you're just jaying off with another guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or she's like sucking one guy
And it
and then
goes
like
to the other.
you're kind of like she's jerking you, but you're kind of just watching a guy get his dick sucked at that point.
That's why you put on the movies, or like, that's why you put
that
on
way
the background.
you
You're
just
like,
you hang out and watch Wind Talkers.
yeah. Wow, you still getting sucked, dude? How does it feel? Good. This movie's great. Yeah.
We just watched that Wind Talkers with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Wind Talkers.
It wasn't bad. It was fun.
No.
Do you know who John Woo is?
yeah. The name I recognize.
He makes
the
like
name.
Asian gangster movies, basically.
He made Face Off.
and he's made a lot of big American.
Oh yeah, I
films.
just saw Face Off.
Wind Talkers is pretty much it takes place in World War II when they had coders back then to listen over the radio and give like codes, and they're Navajo Indians.
Yeah, so we used the Navajo Indian language because it just was a very
Oh yeah, that's
small known language. I didn't know that, so I found that part of it.
It's really cool because they couldn't break it down. Like they
Uh-huh.
couldn't read it. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
because
no.
it's like a really hard
It
language.
just wasn't a well understood language. I mean,
No.
there aren't a lot of there weren't a lot
It's
of
a
Navajos then. They're
dying
probably less
language now. I don't think anybody really speaks.
I've
it.
heard it's one of the hardest languages to learn.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, in the movie, Nicolas Cage is just like a hardened World War II veteran. Like he's been in the war for a while. He just saw all his friends get killed in front of him. Then he gets tasked with basically escorting two Navajo coders through Japan.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, it was really fun. Mark Ruffalo was in it.
Yeah.
Christian Slater. It was just the pacing was a little wild because it would just be like very chill, kind of almost like nice scenes.
Fun.
Almost anytime anything kind of nice happened, it would just burst into an absolute insane shooting wild scene.
Firefight, explosions.
Some great war fight scenes though.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the war film's dying.
Yeah, I think what was the last like big one, like 1917?
Yeah, no, all quiet on the Western
All is quiet
Front.
on the
that-
Western
yeah, that's
Front,
true.
which I haven't seen yet.
That was a remake of a movie from like the 20s.
And it's also not even an American film, right?
Yeah, it's German.
German.
The American war film then.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I feel like there was a big Hollywood war movie almost every year, every other year. Like when you think back, there was
Well,
tons.
Yeah, like
Don't you think
Saving
there's
Private
enough
Ryan.
then?
Saving Private Ryan, Pearl Harbor, Fury was a really good.
Fury
one.
was really good. It's underrated. I think.
Really underrated.
Yeah, really.
There's
good.
one I really like. I just bought a giant bundle of Blu-rays, and I got a couple. This guy really liked war movies and action movies, so we got a lot of those. That's why we watched Wind Talkers.
That was good.
There's one called Defiance.
Defiance.
I think it's set in Germany during the Holocaust. It's about these brothers that basically set up a camp in the woods, and they teach all these Jews that are hiding from the Nazis how to fight. And then I think it's kind of a true story, but yeah, they ended up getting in a real battle and doing kind of okay. Like they actually held off the German forces for a little bit, just as like a woods militia, essentially.
Daniel
That's
Craig
cool.
is in it, right?
Daniel Craig and Liv Schreiber.
Nice.
It's actually really good. We should maybe
We
watch
should
that.
watch
We
that.
can maybe watch that tonight.
I'd like to see
Yeah,
that.
we're on a little war movie kick.
I never want to watch a war movie, but then when you throw it on,
They're great.
I'm really
your eye.
enthralled.
I think the
Yeah.
reason why war movies are dying is because they've just covered all they could with the wars we had.
Yeah. I think with war movies, you got to wait a little bit for some wars to happen, and then you
Yeah.
start getting movies.
That's why I'm excited for World War III. Because imagine the movies that come out.
Oh,
after
it's
that.
Start
incredible.
getting some Kid Cudi in Korea sucks. Fuck China. I like modern war movies too. Like Lone Survivor was great.
Lone Survivor
Yeah,
was an
that was good.
underrated
With,
one in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Mark
That-
Wahlberg, right?
Yeah.
Did
yeah.
you like
see it?
American Sniper?
Eh,
I
it was
like
okay.
that. I like that.
It wasn't my favorite. It felt a little bit more like propaganda.
Yeah.
That's the problem with some of those war movies is they
It
really feel
didn't
like
feel like propaganda at all.
Yeah, a little bit.
How?
Just because, I don't buy that he was that much of, a fucking hero.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy.
What do you mean? Do you not remember the movie?
American Sniper
Controversial
about
to
Chris
say.
Kyle?
They didn't really portray him as much of a hero. He was just a fucking. They
Killing
portrayed him more
machine?
as a fucked up dude.
Maybe I don't remember it well, but it did feel...
They dive a lot into his PTSD after the war, and he was kind of an asshole. Well, PTSD.
yeah, there's
fucked
a
up
lot of
guy.
conspiracy theories around his death.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
because it was just a guy that was a fan of his, and he went shooting and he killed him, right?
Well, he was working with soldiers with PTSD,
yeah.
and it was one of those guys who it became his friend kind of, and he took him out shooting, and the guy supposedly shot him while he was out there.
Well, what else would have happened?
Didn't I?
Apparently, he may have known shit that he wasn't supposed to know, or he was getting a little too talky with all the stories. I know they don't like that when guys, heavily decorated war vets, start giving out a lot of fucking info.
About how bad it is. I mean, let's be honest.
That and also just other things.
He shouldn't have been running his fucking mouth.
Tim Kennedy, do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Tim
He's
Kennedy?
a UFC fighter. I think he actually lives here in
Oh,
Austin.
Yeah, I think he does.
But yeah, he's told so many fucking horror stories about
Was he in the war?
Afghanistan. Yeah, he's an Army Ranger, I believe.
Uh,
I think he's a sniper too. I want to say.
Yeah, let's see.
He was a really good UFC fighter. He had some great fights. Him and Yoel Romero is one of my favorites.
you didn't like the scene in American Sniper when
Yeah, he
they
was a sniper.
drill into that kid's head?
I don't remember that part.
That's brutal.
It's been a long time.
You
Is it
should
Clint Eastwood?
You should rewatch it.
Is it a Clint Eastwood
It's
film?
Clint, dude.
It is?
What's it
It's
called?
Clit Eastwood.
It's Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, it's just a
Clit.
giant
She wrote
clit.
it? She wrote it, the girl Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood.
That's hard to say.
Clit
Clint
Eastwood?
Eastwood, for some reason, is hard
Clint.
for me to pronounce.
Okay.
Clint.
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 I'm Clint Eastwood.
That
no
dude
relation.
is definitely losing his touch.
Clint
Can we look
Eastwood?
at his filmography,
Yeah.
but not acting, directing?
Yeah.
Because I think,
What was his last movie? Cry Macho?
didn't see it, but I saw Mule, and Mule was ridiculous. Because Mule, he's barely fucking walking around, and then he's getting danced on by two chicks, and they take him up to a room to fuck him, and he's like, all right, that's how fuck these girls. Yeah.
So director.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's start at the beginning, I guess.
Yeah,
Because it
I'll go.
used to be fucking good.
He started with
actually,
Play Misty for me was his
I didn't
first
realize he
movie.
directed Richard Jewell. That was really good.
Richard
Mystic
Jewell
River
was great.
really good too.
Play Misty for me. Okay, I haven't seen a lot of the
High
early
Plains
ones.
Drifter is really good.
Sudden Impact? He directed Sudden Impact?
Yeah, I guess.
Wow, that's a great movie. That's one of my favorite disaster films.
Pale Rider is great.
Oh, that's not what I'm thinking of.
Oh, you're thinking about the one with Elijah
Deep-
Wood.
What is that
Deep
called?
Impact.
Is that Deep Impact? Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Pale Rider is great.
Heartbreak Ridge is great.
What's Unforgiven? A Perfect World?
Can you go to The Rookie? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
It's not the baseball movie.
Two
It
movies
can't
in a
be.
year.
No.
No.
Buddy
Charlie
say-
Sheen and Clint Eastwood.
I think he started coming into his stride with the movies he's not in. So, yeah, Mystic River.
I don't
first
know.
off.
Unforgiven was amazing.
Or at least the movies where he's not the main character.
I never saw $1 Million Baby.
Oh,
Million
it's
Dollar
so good.
I
Baby's
heard
fun.
That's really good.
Letters to Iwo Jima Letters from Iwo Jima is so good.
Changeling.
Changeling.
Have you seen Changeling?
No.
You should put that on your list.
That
do
is.
that.
You should watch that
That's
as soon
a
as possible.
wild story. It's just about a girl.
It's a lightheart comedy.
Her kid goes missing, and then it's like the 20s or 30s, and the cops are like, "We found your kid," and they give him to her, and he's like, "That's not." She's like, "That's not my kid," and they're just like, "You're crazy." Like that's your
Yeah.
kid. You just like have woman brains, basically. But
Those women.
It's not her kid. Like she's right, and then the whole story where it goes is fucking wild.
So
Gran,
yeah, I'll put that on the list.
Gran Torino is terrible acting, but it was good enough.
Hereafter is like a very unique movie by him. That's actually very.
That was good. You showed that to me.
It's a very slow-paced, emotional film.
Yeah.
Really a step away from a lot of the movies he does.
He's
I mean,
quite the workhorse with all these movies.
It's
These are
kind of like an anthology film,
all pretty
but it
different.
all connects.
Different movies too.
J. Edgar. I never seen it, but I heard it's not good. I like Jersey Boys.
I never saw Jay. I like Jersey Boys.
American,
So yeah, he pumped out 2 in a row in a lot of years.
American Sniper is good.
15-17 to Paris was absolute and
He
utter
did
dog shit.
He did Sully?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's wild.
that's
Was
not
it-
a bad movie.
I never seen that one.
But it came out around Flight.
Flight was
Denzel
so
Washington,
good.
and that movie's so much better.
Underrated too.
That's an incredible movie.
The
Yeah,
1517 to Paris was really bad because he used the actual people in that event.
Uh-huh. That was another movie they did, I think, like in 2015, where they used real military veterans, and that was like the selling point.
Oh,
But it just made it so the acting was bad.
I
Yeah.
think I remember that one.
But what's 1517 to Paris? It's just a train jacking, right?
It's about the guy that, I think it was like Switzerland or France or something, and he tried to hijack, or he tried to set off a bomb or something. in
But a soccer
train,
team.
And 3 American, I think military guys,
Military?
beat the fuck out of him and maybe killed him.
Yeah. it's-
Richard Jewell, I love.
Richard Jewell was his best one in a long time.
A long time.
Richard Jewell. What's that one about?
That one is about
It's true events.
a guy who actually was like a hero.
Mhm.
He found a bomb, I think at like a football field or something like that.
It was a music
a
festival.
music festival. He was just like kind of an odd dude, like a real like patriot type guy.
Mhm.
A lot of trust in the a lot of trust in the government, a lot of trust in the cops. Like he wanted to be a cop himself. And he was working security at a music festival, and then he found like a bomb. And he told people about it, and they ended up saving. I think it did go off or something,
Yeah, but it would have killed like.
but he saved tons of people's
Wow.
lives. And
I think it went off, but because of him, no one died. Can you
Because-
look that up actually.
Yeah, let's see.
because he had a lot of guns, and because he like was like a very almost like domestic terrorist type person.
He was also kind of slow.
and he was dumb and easily manipulated, so they were able to really pin it on him kind of
Yeah.
and make it look like he did it.
They manipulated him into saying things he shouldn't have, but he gets a lawyer, Sam Rockwell, to help him.
Yeah, he just happens to have befriended a guy who's a really good lawyer. He used to be I don't know how much of this is true, but in the movie he used to be work
This is
at
the
a law
bad guy
firm.
or Richard Jewell? The
Richard
guy.
Jewell, the main guy, used to work at a law firm, and he was like buddies with one of the lawyers there. So when the lawyer learned about what happened, he was just like, that guy was like so nice. What are the odds of that? So I can't remember if he reached out to him or I think Richard reaches out to his friend,
Yeah.
and then he takes the case and just fucking tears him apart. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful movie.
Kathy Bates is
As
amazing
his mom
in
is
it.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
John Hamm is the main antagonist.
Because he just he gives them too much information. And because he, in his head, he's like, I didn't do it. The cops would never think I did it.
So Richard Jewell, why did they think he did it again?
He just, he was there, first off. He
They-
was the one that found it.
And he had all the
And then he had like a bunch of guns at his house, and he like,
so circumstantially.
real like patriot type guy. Yeah. and a
They
lot of-
also knew he didn't do it.
They kind of knew he didn't do it, but once they decided he did it,
That's somebody
they
to
really
pin it
had
on.
to prove it that he
Yeah.
did it. Cause didn't something happen like they were looking at him, and then it got leaked that he was the suspect. So once it got
was
leaked,
the journalist girl, I believe.
once it got leaked, he became like this pariah, basically.
Yeah, but it's like that. We need to find somebody for this now because we don't know who did.
We don't want to look bad. We couldn't find.
Yeah,
the
and
person
this
that
is
did
the only guy.
it.
This is the easiest guy
I
to
don't
do
even
it.
know
Like-
if they found the guy that did it.
Like you're saying, his lone wolf profile made sense to FBI investigators.
But did the bomb?
One person died.
It killed one person.
One person died. 111 people.
Not bad.
111 people. What?
Injured.
Wow.
So I don't know what degree they were injured, but
That is
it's
not
a lot of
bad
people.
No, that's not bad at
because
all.
of him.
For one death is.
Where was
Yeah.
Richard Jewell for 9/11, dude? Hey, I think those planes are flying towards us.
He really did cause 9/11.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately. See, I guess I don't know how much of it I can give away. I'm going to probably try to not say anything like too much about the club itself.
Yeah,
but I am going to
play
be
it safe.
working at the Comedy Mothership, Joe Rogan's club. Thank you, Chris. Nick, yeah, you could do that. It's a big deal. It's a downgrade, kind of, from full-time comedian to door guy. But
It's not a downgrade.
no, it's
Good stuff.
awesome. I am very excited to do it. But yeah, tomorrow is our first show ever there. As far as I didn't go to training today because I had to do something. But tomorrow is the day, and I'm excited. It's Joe Rogan and friends. I won't say the lineup or anything like that.
No.
Even though by the time you post this,
Yeah,
it would have
this
already
week.
happened. I just don't want it to look like I'm leaking info.
Yeah, I get that.
But it's gonna be awesome.
It's
dude.
big. It's
Yeah,
huge.
it's great. It's beautiful on the inside.
Richard Jewell's opening up the show.
Richard Jewell is gonna
Yeah.
be there, and he's gonna bomb everybody.
Yeah,
No, they're taking this shit seriously. It's gonna be like a Comedy Store in LA or in Austin, essentially, and not even like I think it's gonna be how the Comedy Store when it was like at its peak.
This is what we've been waiting for since
Can't
we
wait.
moved here.
I moved here for this, essentially.
Same.
I
Yeah.
moved here knowing that Joe Rogan was going to open a club. I did not think it was going to be 2 years,
Same.
but I also didn't think I'd be working there, too.
Well, it's good that they took their time
Yeah.
because
No, it shows.
I've only heard great things about the
Same.
inside.
They're fucking ready. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like one of the best looking comedy clubs I've seen on the inside. I'm sure pictures will be available soon. Even by the time this comes out, you'll probably be able to Google
Yeah.
Comedy Mothership pictures because tomorrow
People are gonna be in
we're
there.
doing
yeah.
a show.
Yeah,
But
but I can only imagine phones are going to be locked up too.
It is.
How are they going to take pictures? I guess professional.
I mean, they'll probably
They'd
like
hire
selfies and
pictures.
stuff.
yeah, and also there's a lot of staff, so there's bound
Yeah.
to be some people snapping pics.
It's going to be huge because their Instagram page, they only posted one video and it's a quick of the outside. It's already at 100K followers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
It's
like
crazy.
they have like 100,000 followers.
This scene's going to be
Themselves.
too big.
They follow me.
That's
I
yeah.
do.
That's so
Cool, I saw that,
confusing. I'm
yeah.
sure. Like if you look at the people they're following, because they followed all the door guys.
Yes.
So it's just all these fucking massive celebrities and stuff, and then just us, like
Yeah.
a bunch of nobodies essentially. But they're great. I mean, I'll say right now, without like giving too much info away, it already sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They really want it to be a dope place for comedians to feel like they can be comedians.
Yeah,
And I think that's going to lead to there being amazing shows there.
that's good.
I can't wait.
Yeah. And not, I think, obviously, we're at the Creek in the Cave right now, which is another
I
comedy
love
club.
Creeks, so hell.
And here's the thing is, I think it's going to be hard at first for other comedy clubs in the scene because obviously that's going to be the only story for the next 6 to 8 months
yeah.
is what's going on at Comedy Mothership. We got to go down to Austin and try to get on at Comedy Mothership.
yeah.
But of all the people who come here for Comedy Mothership, how many of them are actually going to get to go there? Like, they posted 6 shows and they sold out
Immediately.
like that. And it's going to be like that for a while,
a long time.
I'm sure.
That's what I was.
They're going to get
expecting,
some
yeah.
waterfall audience.
Yeah, and I think like a year or so, maybe even less time than that. so many people are going to want to come to Austin just
Yeah.
for comedy.
I mean, how many comics do you think are going to move here?
I
within
think
next
the
2
number
months?
of comics
It's
here
double.
right now is going to like quadruple.
Yeah, it's going to be unbelievable.
I think it's going to be fucking ridiculous. That's why the people who are here right now really need to take it, because you still have some time, I think, before people start moving here for it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like probably 5 to 6 months once it's open. Most people aren't going to want to get here right as it opens, I'm sure.
No.
I think that's a bad idea, because I think it's already going to be hard enough for the established Austin comics to get a rapport there. That's why I'm so lucky to have gotten the door guy job. And we can probably say that we auditioned for it, right? I bet that's okay.
Yeah,
That's public knowledge.
just
Why
the
wouldn't we
process
be able
of
to say
getting.
I
that?
can't imagine. You know, I don't want to fucking
It was a big
spoil anything. But yeah, how we got the job. I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast.
No, we
yet.
haven't.
We haven't.
But yeah, how we got the job was we just were asked to come to the Secret Show, which is Brian Redband's show at the Vulcan, and an hour and a half into that show, they were gonna do 37 auditions. So 37 comedians going up for 3 minutes each, in front of a crowd that had already sat through an hour and a half long show. So I thought it was going to be a shit show. It was actually handled really well, and they got Asad Ahmad, who's like an awesome comedian, to host the whole thing, and he did it. He did great, and I went 11th. So like that was actually a pretty good spot.
Good spot,
to be
yeah.
honest.
Did the audience
That's a
leave
lot.
at all, or were they always?
A lot of audience left, but even the people who went very last, I'd say they had like 70 people still.
That's
That's
still pretty good.
surprising.
How many
That's
people did you have? You think?
I probably had like closer to like 150.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Almost the whole crowd. But I will say the energy had already started slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but like when I went up, like the 2 people who went before me and the 2 people who went, or no, like the 3 people who went before me and me all got it. So it's just like, I guess that portion
That
of the show
chunk.
really popped off.
Yeah.
And yeah, I fully wasn't expecting to get it. I wasn't even sure how I felt about working at a comedy club, but I'm going to try it. I'm definitely going to try it. I'm going to give it my all, too. I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah.
fucking work hard. I'm
Oh,
still
yeah.
going to do as much comedy as I would have done without it and hope
You-
that they're cool with that. And I think they will be. They understand that we're comedians first.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And
it's
from,
exciting.
From what you told me, it seems like there's a lot of opportunities to get on stage and stuff, which is really great.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
so
another
good.
thing I don't
Yeah.
want to like
Well, yeah. I
throw
wouldn't say
too
it.
much out there. But yeah, I mean, anyone who's been to the Comedy Store knows that the door guys do get stage time, because obviously, like David Lucas, Ari Shafir, Tony Hinchcliffe, we're all door guys as well.
Mhm.
And this is going to be similar to that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well, they just want their comics that are associated with the club to be the best of the best.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't want you to be door guys your whole time
No.
either. Like they want you to get too good for it,
Yeah.
which is great. That's so cool. And then they can just do it for another crop of comedians. That's
Yeah.
why it's going to help the scene so much.
Yeah.
I think, and this is just me, like, thinking. This is nothing that's been announced or anything, but I really think there's going to eventually be, like, a big push on all Austin-based podcasts. Because I think Austin comedy in itself is going to be a big thing in, like, a year or two.
Yeah.
And so that's another, because like
can
LA
see that.
comedy, one of the
Yeah.
main reasons why so many people know the LA comics and even New York comics is because of podcasting.
Yeah.
Like no one would know who the fuck Andrew Santino is without podcasts.
Yeah.
Probably.
There's the LA scene and there's the New York scene with podcasts. I mean, I can just think of a handful of each in my
Yeah.
head. I don't
Uh-huh.
I can't even think of any Chicago like
No.
podcasts or anything like
And
that.
I bet this is another thing. I know this sounds so gay that I'm saying all this stuff. I just don't want people to think that I know anything.
It's just speculation.
I don't know anything. But I feel like Joe Rogan is going to have a lot more Austin-based comics on his podcast in the next like 2 or 3 years.
I can see that.
Because it's good for his club, too, to boost these fucking guys up. You know, they want their regulars to be superstars because that's what carried the Comedy Store. I mean, Joe Rogan really kind of launched that place to the mainstream, I'd say.
The Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I feel like the Carlos Mencia thing, I
Yeah.
feel like that was the start of a lot of people really starting to notice the Comedy
Well, there
Store.
was a time with the Comedy Store, like the 80s, it was like the biggest place ever, but then comedy really died off in the 90s and it was falling apart.
Yeah.
I think it was like Joe Rogan and those, like, who was in Joe Rogan's time? Other big comics. I don't know.
Well, he had been there, and then he left around the time when the Mencia thing happened.
Well, he got
left
banned from the
because
club.
of
Yeah.
Mencia.
That's wild. Now he's like,
2007 to 14 he
he's
came
the
back.
biggest comedian in the world right now.
yeah.
But
Did you guys see the Showtime doc on the
The Comedy Store?
Yeah.
No,
No.
was it good?
Oh, it's so good. It's so well done.
That's
They
awesome.
break down the whole history of the store and everything.
I was
It's
never
really
like
great.
a big comedy store like that into the comedy store like
I always
researching.
wanted to go.
Yeah, I was-
Obviously, it's the place as a comedian where you're like, man, I would even just do an open mic there would be huge.
Mhm.
Like
I was
would
more
love that.
fascinated with the New York crowd, like the
Yeah,
cellar.
The performing at the Cellar would definitely mean more to me than performing at the Comedy
Yeah.
Store. But Comedy Store, I feel like, really does a lot for the comedians that perform there.
Oh, it only sounds like they care about comedians.
And a lot of that came from Joe Rogan because, you know, Joe Rogan started having his guests be guys that he saw at the store all the time that were killers. Like, I mean, Tim Dillon, I guess, was still in New York when he initially got on Rogan's. But he was coming to L.A. a lot. Like, how many comedians are big now because they got on Rogan?
Ari
Oh,
Shaffir,
yeah, so
pretty
many.
much.
Yeah, Ari Shaffir, Tom Segura,
Tom
Bert
Segura,
Kreischer.
Bert, yeah.
These are all guys that already were establishing themselves beforehand, but
Yeah.
that's what fucking pushed them through the roof.
It's like a whole universe. It's like a Rogan universe of
Yeah.
guys who all came up together with his podcast is like the kernel of everything.
Well, and I think that's really going to help his podcast, too. Not that it needs help, but my favorite episodes were when he'd have a comic that I didn't know a lot about on, and then I'm like, well, this guy's fucking hilarious. And yeah, I don't think he's really been having that as much
Yeah,
because
I
he's
agree.
here. So the only comics that he's really performing with are the comics here.
Yeah.
That are moving here or coming here that he already knew. Like, you know, he had Hans Kim, who we know, but that was more because of Tony Hinchcliffe. And
Oh,
no,
yeah, Tony
no
Hinchcliffe.
shade on Joe Rogan. Obviously, he doesn't want to come out and just fucking
It's-
hang out at the open mics
Yeah.
and see
Of course
local
not.
It's a
showcases.
geographical thing.
He's
too.
way too good.
He's
for
been
that.
around for almost 40 years.
I
Why
get
the hell
that.
would he do that?
But now that all that stuff is going to be going on at his club, and he's going to have like an ear to the door of everything
Yeah.
that's going on at his, he's going to know who's crushing at his club
Yeah,
yeah.
consistently.
Yeah.
So, you know, when
He's
he-
always seemed like the kind of guy that's in tune with what's happening.
I could see a Casey Rocket appearance on Rogan.
one day,
Yeah.
yeah, you never know. No one else that you could think
Well,
of.
an Adam Luckey.
No one else
An Adam Luckey appearance.
You're like, other than that, of the door guys at the Comedy Mothership, I can't think of anybody else that even has a fucking
just-
remote chance.
I also think that because of Mothership, more like established, famous comics are going to start moving here,
Oh yeah.
be at the club
Yeah.
more, and that's going to get our friends and shit more likely to get like more road feature work with those guys.
And those people, even if they don't move here, are going to be here all the fucking time.
yeah, because
Like,
Shane
all the
Gillis,
time.
Mark Norman,
Yeah,
Ari
that's
Shaffir
true.
are already here all the time too.
Just do it. Yeah, they already come down here just to perform at
Almost
the
like
Volvo.
once a month they do that. Once every 2 months it seems, that Protect Our Parks thing.
And
Yeah.
all
They
those
go all the
guys
time.
will be at Mothership now.
Mhm.
all the time.
Yeah, I will say, you know, if you want to fucking get tickets for it, it's going to be real goddamn hard,
Yeah.
I'm sure, for the next month. But I highly suggest trying because it's awesome. And the people in charge of it really know what they're doing. And I can't imagine there's going to be one bad show there for a while. Like,
Yeah, no.
No.
even when they do start doing local showcases, I think you're going to have to earn. Even I would say even buy a ticket to the goddamn open mics of this place.
Yeah,
Because, you know, an
That's
open
what
mic
it's
at the
just to
Comedy
be inside.
Store.
we never know.
If you went to the open mic at the Comedy Store 10 years ago, you were probably seeing like fucking Theo Vaughn and
Oh, yeah.
like a lot of big
Well,
name
Damon
comics.
Wayans used to go to those open mics and
Yeah.
just do 4 hours
Yeah.
and just fuck around.
Yeah, well, that's like a dick move.
yeah,
it's
but
just
still,
stealing
if you
time.
want to see 4 hours of Damon Wayans, go to these open mics, I guess.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I was gonna say apparently Louis, when he was in Austin one time, he did an open mic at Valve.
Did he
He
really?
just popped in with
That's
the notes and just did
insane.
an open mic and just hung out.
Like
I'm
back then,
surprised they
recently.
would be cool with him. That's kind of a more alty room.
Oh, it was a while ago. Yeah, I guess so.
I think
Oh,
yeah.
it was before. all
Before
that.
the thing, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Also, you are cool with Louis. No matter how you feel about him, you're going to put Louis on the stage.
I would say, having being from Seattle and seeing how that scene works, I think there are places in Seattle that would turn Louis away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those people are fucking dog
Management
shit
will?
dumb.
Like Underground now.
I
well,
mean, now,
Underground's closed.
yeah, the Comedy Underground have become a fucking shithole
By the
for
time we left.
for developing comedy. It was shit.
Mm.
There was no good comics being built up at the Comedy Underground
Yeah.
the whole time I was up there. And, you know, there's no offense. There were some cool comics that I really like, but none of them are anything. None of them became anything. And a lot of them either quit or are just still up there doing fucking brewery shows and shit now.
The problem with the underground and clubs in Seattle is even before they knew your comic, the second you walked in, you felt like people were just judging you already.
You, as a straight white man, are not wanted there. And
Not
they
at all.
really wanted you to know that. And you could just tell by the open mic list. You're like, there's 95 straight white guys, and there's about 15 minorities, but every single minority got on the list. What a coincidence. And 3 of the white guys got on. So it's like, okay, so now if I want to drive, because we lived in Tacoma, so if I want to drive 45 minutes to go do an open mic, something we don't get paid for, something we did, though, as new comics, we drive, sometimes we drive 2 hours to go do an open mic in, like, Portland. Who gives a just try it.
During COVID, me and Rice flew to OKC to do an open mic.
That is true.
And
They
to see
flew
you.
all the way down to OKC. I drove 6 hours to do a show for like $25.
Yeah.
So I'm not much better.
Yeah, I think was that the one I went with you? Or
No, that was a one-night feature, I think.
Yeah.
Did I do more than one show that night or just one
We
show?
just did one night. Yeah.
I did. I got to do like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was decent.
Yeah.
You know,
I think you got paid well, actually.
I think they paid for
Yeah.
our hotel that night, too.
Yeah. You got everything
Yeah.
covered.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I actually just got asked my original home club, Tacoma Comedy Club. They just opened up a smaller venue, and I get to headline that for one night.
Oh, sweet.
It'll
That's
be my
awesome.
first like real comedy club headlining.
That's sick, dude.
I'll be featuring for Jeremiah Watkins the weekend of that,
Mhm.
and then that Sunday I get to do a 45-minute.
Oh, that's
headline.
awesome.
I've never done 45 minutes before, so
Yeah, that'll be big. When is that?
September.
September, nice.
So hopefully I can con my way into getting like at least a couple of 45-minute spots.
Yeah, I think you should.
I did. I featured here last weekend, and I did different. Kind of changed up my 20-minute sets to just see how much time I had.
Mhm.
I'm probably at like 35 right now.
And
so.
September's a long way. You might
Yeah,
develop a
you
new
got time.
20 working at Rogan's.
Well,
Club.
working at Rogan's, my goal is to every time I get on that stage, try to have the best set I've ever had, but show that I'm developing and trying different shit, writing stuff. I mean, I'm gonna try to write at least 2 or 3 new jokes for every time I get up there.
Yeah.
Like I want to show that I'm not just gonna. I think personally, just my personal preference for when I'm watching comics grow is the guy who does pretty fucking good but changes a lot of shit up is a lot more impressive than the person who fucking annihilates but is doing the same thing every time, like the same 8 to 10 minutes. And I think we're gonna be getting probably like 5 to 8 minute sets, I would assume, on like the open mics and stuff. And I just want to have different shit.
Yeah.
Riff, roast, have fun, fuck
Well, you're
around.
doing 30 up in Dallas in a week.
That's
and a half.
true.
Yeah.
That'll be a good.
That'd be
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
Must be a good. And I think I'm supposed to do 30 at East Austin Comedy Club, but I ended up not being able to do that.
Yeah.
But
Where in Dallas are you performing?
the Dallas Comedy Club,
Okay.
It's a really good club.
it's a dope club. I'm
Yeah.
really excited. Yeah, the guy out there. It's funny how I even got the connection was I was featuring for Jamie Kilstein up there, and his show ended up getting canceled, and me and Heather Shaw had nowhere to go, so we just went to some shitty Dallas open mic, and it was a shit show, but the guys running it were really cool, and we had fun. I got bumped by a guy named Greasy Gordo.
How was he?
Huh? He was not the best received comic of the night, but a really, really nice guy. I ended up liking Greasy Gordo quite a bit. He was a good guy.
Greasy Gordo.
Greasy Gordo was not a bad guy.
What kind of
at all.
comedy did he do? Just normal comedy?
Real greasy.
He was just pour grease on him?
No, it was very like offensive, but not that
Are
polished.
you guys ready to get greasy? Just pour fucking
hot
hot grease on him?
Just pour that grease onto my tits.
Grease is the word.
I like Dallas. Dallas is a good place for comedy. It's just, it's one of those scenes where most comedy scenes, and I think the reason why New York and LA stand out in this sense, and Austin also is kind of like this too, is that in smaller scenes like Seattle and Dallas and even like Houston, your success is basically determined by the comedy clubs there.
Mhm.
Like your best bet is to become like paid features at the comedy clubs. Whereas here, and this will get you into comedy clubs too, is you want to be accepted by the comedians.
Yep.
You want the comedians to think you're funny because a lot of the comedians here book shows or at least have connections to the comedy clubs. Like it's really, I'd say it's more important here to be respected and liked by the comedians than it is to be respected and liked by the bookers.
That's
and-
what I've noticed too. There's not. I
Managers.
can't think of any like booker that people like. Oh, I hope that booker sees me. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
around
there are
There's a
some,
few, but not, it's not like a
Like when
I
we did
agree.
the Austin comedy competition, I tried to get pretty much every big booker in town to judge at some point. And a lot of that is so that booker gets to sit there and see 30 comics that maybe they've never seen before.
Yeah.
And a lot of people got booked on a lot of different shows because, they got to see them for the first time. But for the most part, every big comic can just kind of hit up a booker and be like, hey, this guy's really fucking funny. You should book him on your show. And a lot of the big bookers here are comics.
Also in Austin, comedy clubs aren't the only avenue. You can fucking do some of the best shows are in art galleries and
Yeah, there's a lot of don't tell shows here. There's a lot of just independently produced shows at movie theaters and music venues. A lot of the comics here know how to fucking like grab it and get it going. Like the template just got set for really good shows when we first got here.
there's a lot of smart promoters here.
Yeah, there's a lot of comedians that are doing it right.
But up in like small scenes like Dallas, where it's just the comedy clubs pretty much.
In most small scenes, you're told to do your best to just be a safe feature.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what's pushed in most smaller scenes. That's why most people don't really break out until they go to bigger scenes. Because if you're just trying to be a soft feature, no one's going to give a shit about your act. Like if you're 10 years in and still your biggest credit is that I've opened for all these people, it's like nobody gives a shit about the guy that opens. It sounds cool before you go on stage to be like, this guy opens for Louis C.K. And that's also a different caliber.
Yeah.
But, to be like, I've opened for a lot of people. And I think it means nothing.
Well, the guys opening up for Louis C.K. are headliners of those clubs.
For the most part, yeah.
Well, in small scenes like Seattle and shit like that, it's being mediocre is rewarded.
Yeah, mediocrity is very important because mediocrity isn't going to get anybody in trouble and it's not going to make anyone leave the room.
Doesn't make it. It doesn't put fear
They
in
want you
anybody's-
to be forgettable, so they don't remember you. and
Yeah, I mean, I
get in
almost
trouble.
pride myself that I'm not a safe feature or a safe host. Like, I am a risk, and I should really only be put with people that are more offensive or dark and draw their own audience that won't be upset.
Yeah.
Because when I've opened for people that I wasn't a great match for, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a fucking coin flip,
Yeah. And you also try, like, the worst advice, I think, is if you're a feature, you shouldn't try your best to crush.
Yeah.
Because of the headliner you want the headliner to do as good as he can.
There are, I don't know if everyone knows this. A lot of people who aren't in comedy might not know this, but there are a good amount of headliners out there. Headliners. These are people that get paid to headline comedy clubs. Comedy is their main job, and it's supposed to be that it's their main job because they're so good at it, and they draw acts they draw audience because they're funny. But yeah, there's headliners that will tell their feature pretty much, don't do really good, because then if I can't do that good, I look bad.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's fucking ridiculous. And yeah, I've heard a lot of comedians say like, you should just listen to that. Always just do whatever the person you're opening for. It's like if someone told me to do that for a weekend, I would try even harder to crush, and then I would never work with that person.
And you can say like, oh, that was me trying to.
Yeah.
That was me trying not to kill.
Sorry, I guess I'm just that much better than you, that even when I try not to do better than you, I still do. And I opened for a guy, I won't say his name, but he's not a big headliner at all. He's not a comedy club headliner. These were like bar shows. But still, he like tours at like little backwoods bars, essentially.
Oh, that guy?
And I hosted. I was the first one on stage. And I crushed. I leveled for like 20 minutes, cold opening in a fucking dingy backwoods Texas bar with like 40 people in it. I did awesome. Like, not even to my own. I'm really not one that ever tries to say I did good if I didn't do good. I'm honest. 'Cause I did other shows with that guy that didn't go as well. But that one went awesome. And as soon as I got off, he's like, so what, you just want to be the fucking guy with the spotlight on you? Like, I guess you feel like you need to. And I was supposed to do more shows with him the next day. And he's like, yeah, I guess you're going to be here tomorrow. And I just ended up not doing it.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That's
well,
so
fuck this
dumb.
guy.
Such a bad attitude.
Those people aren't headliners.
No.
That's the problem, is there's so many comedy club headliners that aren't headliners now. So many. Like, that's a big thing now. Like, it's so easy to become a comedy club headliner. You can just be a social media star. You can just even be a reality star. I mean, isn't Tom Brady becoming a fucking comedian?
Yeah.
Didn't we talk
Word
about
on the
that?
street. Yeah.
Let's give him a chance. He
Whatever.
might be a killer.
No, I think anyone should be allowed to do it. But the people who fucking, if you pay for a ticket to go see Tom Brady at a comedy club, you're a fucking retarded idiot.
Yeah.
You're fucking dumb.
If
Like,
you-
you literally could have just closed your eyes and picked a random comedian on the board, bought a ticket to that person. I guarantee you that would have been a better show than going to see some dude that's never done comedy before.
A football star.
And here's the thing, too. Guess what? All that shit they're saying that has you go like, man, this guy's actually funnier than I thought he would be, is written for them. All of that.
Yeah.
95% of social media guys, like YouTube guys that go and like headline a comedy club, all that shit is written for them. You're not hearing anything genuine. You're basically watching a nobody celebrity read a script.
I wouldn't
like the
be
Roche
shocked if he has a teleprompter in the back reading that.
Yeah. As someone who, I used to volunteer at a comedy club all the time, and so you get to see a lot of things behind the scenes. These guys have teams of writers with them that will sit in the green room with them and like write more shit for them. Like even like be like, hey, this just happened recently in the news. Say this, and then everyone's like, their standards are so low, and that's insane to me. Like I don't, it's
That's
wild.
what Chris
You can
Rock
just
does.
lie. Chris Rock has writers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what they do is like the big guys is they would hire like other really good comedians like Chris Rock, Nate Bargatze, and Michelle Wolf, and he would go up with material he has, and they watch it, and they come up with tags, and they
Yeah.
all work on it.
Well, that's also a thing that we all do as comedians. Like if Nick has a really good joke and I like it and I think of something funny, I'll go tell Nick.
Yeah.
I want him to do better.
He's just able to pay like professional comedians to do it.
And
for
personally, me, I don't even really like receipts. I don't like using those tags.
No.
Because for me, if I do a tag someone else gave me on stage and it crushes, it doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, because he's just like, I didn't come up with it.
Because that's the important thing you guys got to remember is that I'm doing this for me.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's a healthy way to do it.
Yeah, no good comedian is up there because they just want to make people laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit. When people laugh, it's better because it makes it look like I'm doing better and, like, it results in me getting more work. But when I eat dick, but I still feel like I performed okay, I'll still feel okay about that. I'll feel like I'm getting better because a year ago I ate dick. And not only did I not do good, but I also felt like I didn't do good either. I felt like I was flustered and I fucked up my tags and I didn't have as much confidence because the crowd wasn't responding. But now, a lot of the times, I mean, I still definitely have shows where I'm like, I could have done way better. Or I just didn't, I was in a bad mood, I didn't give a shit, and I just fucking kind of threw it out the window on purpose. I mean, I did that here like a month ago on a show that I just got booked on again. That I'm doing tonight. So, obviously I'm gonna try harder tonight. I'm not gonna do that again. But even sometimes when I do stuff like that, I listen back to it and I'm like, well, I'm in the pocket. I'm still trying. I'm not just like bombing and then just going through every joke pretending like I'm not bombing. I'm addressing what's happening and I'm still trying to make it fun. And then if that doesn't make it fun, I'm still gonna fire whatever I got at them. Like, that feels better to me than just like going out there and doing super safe shit over and over again and doing fine. That's what most comics do now, is they just do easy things and they do okay. It's not memorable, but they do okay, and then it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's like with the greats. Like it says, it takes 20 years to make a great comic. I think it takes so long because of what you just said of like, you're not doing the safe stuff. You're leveling into yourself and trying to be yourself on stage.
Yeah.
And you might have lulls and stuff and what people laugh at, but it takes so long to really just get up there and not care what they think and just say what you want to say
That's
for you.
the hardest thing to do.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. That's why when people say, like, and Louis C.K. said this on a podcast recently too, and people are like, yeah, it's so easy to just get up there and say fuck and say super offensive shit and get laughs. It's like, well, then how come almost nobody does? Especially this generation of comics. I mean, me and Chris are two of the only comedians in the whole scene that really do stuff like that.
Yeah, we're pretty.
And this is a scene that kind of accepts that kind of comedy. And even then, it's most of the young people coming up today, which I know I don't look young, but I am considered a young comic, so I'm 30 years old.
You look good, dude. Don't do that to
I'm an
yourself.
old fucking hermit. You ain't getting your frisbee back? Fuck your ass.
Whoa. Why are you mean to those kids?
I just have to be. But yeah, I mean, even for me, I've always done offensive stuff, and there was definitely a lot of times where I'm like, I should just write more clean shit and lean into that. But then I'm like, why? I never want to be a clean comic, so why am I going to try to get better at being a clean comic?
That makes sense.
The first rule is just to have fun with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to have fun talking about kale.
Yeah, I've had comedy club bookers come up to me and be like, don't you want to be like so-and-so and so-and-so? And I'm like, no, I don't even find those people funny.
Well, we did those Kenan Thompson shows, and we got a big
Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we
you
did
want to
those-
talk about what you did?
We did those Kenan Thompson shows. It's like this thing where they travel and they have showcases with all the comedians in the scene.
They put together an open mic, essentially,
20 comics.
with pretty much any comic that wants to do it. You don't
Yeah.
have to really submit. They find you, for
Yeah.
the most part. At least that's how they did it with us. And then they make you promote the show. So they have 20 comics who they aren't paying promoting a show.
They gave us $1 each.
I wish.
I didn't even get the fucking $1.
I didn't get a fucking dollar. I was about to say.
No, he literally gave them dollars,
No
which
way,
was
really?
insane.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
For like tax purposes or something?
He just gave us dollars.
He was not giving
It was on the contract.
That's
we
crazy.
had to sign. It said each comic gets $1 for the show.
That must be for some
That's-
legal thing.
Yeah, I guess so
crazy.
that they can claim they're paying. That's worse.
That's- yeah,
I didn't even get a
that's
fucking
wild.
dollar.
Yeah, I didn't get the $1 and I signed the goddamn thing.
I didn't even sign. I
You
didn't
can sue
sign
him. You
anything.
should sue him.
I should sue him, Nick.
You didn't pay him.
Fuck Kenan Thompson.
Wow, you probably could sue if you signed it and you didn't get the dollar. I just don't
Yeah.
know how you can prove you didn't get a dollar.
It's true because it was cash, probably, right?
I don't know, man. I didn't get the fucking $1. He's not Venmoing $1. What was that, 75 cents?
Yeah, but when I did it, I thought I was being a rebel because they told us not to be dirty or anything. The guy producing it had us in a big circle, and
like
it was just
school.
like basically like, be dirty if you want, but don't be filthy. And it's like,
Yeah.
whoops. He's like, don't go up there and just talk about raping a baby. And I'm just like, what about consensual sex with a baby? Is that okay? Like, which he didn't. He said it wasn't okay. I guess, narc. But
Was it the same dude that when we were here? Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
that guy?
It was like he's talking to a whole group of comics, giving them a big school spiel about be good boys, be good boys.
Yeah, a guy who like
You hold the key
a
to
lot
your
of the
future.
people he was talking to are probably going to be big comedians one day, and he's
Yeah.
talking to them like he has things to teach them. A guy who I think is just a failed comedian. I think he tried to do comedy and then he started booking clubs. But yeah, a lot of people who book comedy that don't do comedy are fucking insufferable. I get that you have insight on certain aspects of the art form and stuff, but you know what insight you don't have is performing.
Yeah,
So
don't talk,
just-
you talk to us like children.
Don't
about during
worry
our time
about
and
that
shit.
part. Like
So we just went up. We took that filthy thing and
I
stomped on it.
immediately was just like doing fuck. I got fucked in the butt while I fucked a butt, and we both cummed, and it was fucking cum fuck goodness.
Yeah.
And then I talked about like I'm definitely not getting on Keenan and Kel after this shit.
Yeah.
Like, which sucks. 'Cause I really wanted to be the black little sister, dude. Like Keenan.
Well, they're filming the whole thing and they're going to give it to their fucking producers, and Keenan supposedly watches.
Yeah, Keenan
all
is
of
gonna
them.
watch like the thousands of tapes that
Yeah.
they made.
So I was the next day, and I went up and opened lightly with opener I do, and then I just went in and talked about how Keenan and Kel raped me for their SNL auditions. For every minute they lasted, they got a season on SNL. And I said Kel came immediately, and Keenan, some could say, lasted a little too long.
He did last really long.
Yeah. And I just looked
Still
into the
going.
camera. I'm like, no, pick me, guys. And after I got off, I crushed.
It crushed it.
Yeah, we both.
Yeah, no, we both pretty much had the best sets of the shows we were on.
Yeah, and we just. I was walking, getting a drink, and the guy that does the whole thing was like, "That was really dumb."
What?
I'm like, "It was funny though." I
Yeah, it
just
was
walked-
funny because that's our fucking job at the end of the day. It's
Yeah.
just to be funny.
It was
Yeah,
funny
all
though.
that matters.
And there's a audience vote at the end where they get to vote for the funniest, and I believe you got like.
I
most
was the
voted
first.
for.
Were you the second one?
I don't know.
Wait, really? You guys got number one?
That's what I heard. I
Oh,
can't
sweet.
confirm it,
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess they did an audience vote, and like 80% of the crowd.
He
thought I was-
deleted
that's
my
awesome.
tape immediately.
Yeah,
He didn't even give it to Keenan.
I asked him for my tape, and he was just like, "Yeah, sure, I'll send you the tape."
Yeah, that was dumb.
Stick up his ass for some reason.
But yeah, that's not comedy.
No.
Like those are people that want comedy to be like acting, and comedy's great because it's not fun. For the most part, it's not phony. Like most great comedians, part of the character on stage, it's a character, of course, but it's a character of like themselves. It's like a caricature of their own
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah.
There is some of them in there, but obviously it's very exaggerated.
Exaggeration.
I talk about hating my daughter and killing my daughter.
like Louis telling him, yeah.
I have an awesome relationship with my daughter.
Yeah.
Like I'm a better dad than
Well,
most people I know.
Those are your deepest wants. That's
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
I
on
just
stage.
really wanted to die.
Oh my god. Yeah, but what we did on those shows, that was comedy.
Yeah, not even like saying that we're like great comedians.
No,
we were just doing what you're supposed to do.
we're terrible comedians in the grand scheme of things. but
Disregard all the fucking rules because there are no rules, and just be funny.
The only
If
rule
there were
is do your time.
Yeah, there are rules. And how the fuck did what's his name, the taxi guy exist?
Oh, Cash Cab guy?
No, Kaufman, Andy Kaufman.
Oh, Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, how the fuck did Cash Cab? That guy took more risks than anybody.
Cash Cab's the biggest comedian ever. He does do comedy, I
He does,
believe.
that guy.
He does. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
He's not good.
No, he's
something.
fine.
But he is Cash Cab.
He is Cash
Stoner
Cab.
comedy.
Andy Kaufman did the craziest
He
thing.
did
Casey
crazy
Rocket's
shit.
breaking all the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Hicks, Dice
Bill
Clay,
Hicks, yeah.
Sam Kinison.
Sam Kinison, Richard Pryor,
Don't be faggots when you're doing comedy. I guess that's our
Eddie
thing.
Murphy. Yeah, they all did whatever the fuck they wanted, and they were superstars. So.
Sam Kinison, the same boat.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Like,
Crazy, awesome, and he was just funny, and he just did what
Yeah.
was funny.
Andrew Dice Clay is the dirtiest comic of all time, and he was the biggest comedian of all time at his
Madison
time.
Square Garden, first guy to show up.
Yeah.
Still around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good in A Star Is Born.
He was.
Yeah, he
I watched
was,
that yesterday.
yeah.
He was really
You
good.
watched it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been wanting to rewatch it. I know you've been telling me to.
Yeah. Are we good on time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we're now
probably
at
call
5.
it.
It's like
Hour
7:30.
Yeah, no, I mean, I gotta get ready for the show, so we can
Well,
probably call it.
well,
That's fun.
that was the Philly show.
That's a wrap.
too hot in here.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
It's a goddamn motherfucking filthy show. It's a goddamn motherfucking filthy show. It's a goddamn